Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 3 of my Borderlands 3 Legendary Weapon series. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Smart Gun XXL, which for me personally is a weapon that I just can't seem to get away from. When Gearbox flew me out to the reveal event to play and record the game early, the Smart Gun XXL was the very first legendary that dropped for me, and in my Let's Play it was also the first legendary drop that I was able to equip, and now at level 50 it took me only 3 or so kills to get it to drop again. So yeah, it looks like this is going to be one of the easier legendaries to get here in Borderlands 3. The red flavor text on the gun reads, "Busy getting brain like Krang," which means this submachine gun will always be corrosive and it will spawn a Gigamind spider turret whenever you reload. These turrets will scurry around the area shooting at enemies, and when they run out of ammo they will run up to the target and explode, dealing a massive amount of corrosive damage. Now, how we go about farming the Smart Gun XXL is we have to go and kill Gigamind in the Meridian Metroplex on Promethea. On your screen right now is going to be the path we take to get to Gigamind, but just for the sake of it, I'll show you me driving over to the area where the boss can be found. It only takes a couple of seconds to drive there, and once inside, you'll be able to run up and immediately take on the boss. Now, one really cool aspect of this farm is Gearbox knows their player base. They know we're going to be farming Gigamind, so they set up a respawn station right outside of the boss's room. This means that after you initially drive over to Gigamind and kill him, you can simply save and exit and boot the game back up and you'll be right outside the boss's room. As you guys can see, he just now dropped me the Smart Gun XXL, and now that we have the weapon in hand, let's go ahead and showcase some proper gameplay of the weapon. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this submachine gun is always corrosive, which is both good and bad. It's good to have a nice corrosive weapon, but in general, corrosive weapons aren't that useful here in Borderlands 3. As you guys can see, the fire rate and projectile movement speed on this gun, they're pretty slow, right? Which means it's hard to hit enemies that are flying or moving around very quickly, but if you can actually hit your target, this weapon does some pretty good damage. On your screen right now is going to be a chart from MentalMars.com, link to that down there in the description, and this chart will show us how different elemental types will affect different kinds of enemies. Corrosive is kind of in a bad place in this game because against regular humans and creatures, it's only going to be dealing 65% of normal damage in true Vault Hunter mode, and against shields, it's only dealing 50% of normal damage. Now obviously it's still going to be great against robots, and if the enemy has armor, this will absolutely burn through that armor because it has a 75% damage increase, but outside of that, corrosive weapons have a very limited use here in Borderlands 3. Now, one really cool aspect of this gun is while yes, the base weapon may not seem to be all that great because of the very slow fire rate and the slow projectile speed, the cool aspect of this gun are, of course, the Gigamind spiders that deal an absurd amount of damage when they explode on your enemy. Therefore, my recommendation is when you reload, try to throw the brain near your enemy without direct impacting them. Of course, you can direct impact them and it will deal a ton of damage, but if you throw the brain away from the target, the brain will therefore start shooting at your enemy, dealing damage that way, before then running up to it and exploding. All in all, the Smart Gun XXL is a solid all-around corrosive weapon. While it's not going to blow you away or one-shot bosses, it's still one of the better choices in the game when it comes to taking on armored or robotic enemies, and it's also super fun to watch the little brains shoot at your target before running up to them and exploding. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There is episode 3 of my Borderlands 3 Legendary Weapon series. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe for more legendary weapon guides because I will be posting a guide of every single legendary weapon here in this game. But until the next episode, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.